Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think Raila Amolo Odinga and Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Alliance can actually do to try and contain William Ruto's onslaught on their strongholds? That is the question which most Kenyans are currently asking. Because let's face it, after the last general election, William Ruto became very unpopular. Kenya Kwanza government made promises which they were unable to fulfill. The cost of living was so high, and Raila Odinga took advantage of the situation and organized serious protest across the country against Kenya Kwanza government. But because William Ruto is a good consumer of intelligence report, he decided to try and figure out how he was going to deal with Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Alliance. In fact, if William Ruto was someone like Uhuru Kenyatta who never really used to listen to intelligence report, Kenya Kwanza government as of now would be very unpopular. So William Ruto then embarked on a strategy of trying to take the war to Raila Odinga's strongholds. So he's been going to Raila Odinga's strongholds, Western, Kisii, coastal region, and all other places. But the question is, what can Raila Odinga and Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Alliance actually do to try and contain him? That is exactly what I want us to do in this particular video. But before we do that, in case you are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support. I'm actually in the village, as you can see, and hopefully you are going to enjoy this episode. Ladies and gentlemen, there are two things which Raila Odinga and Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Alliance should never allow to happen. And the moment those two things are going to happen, then they should forget William Ruto is going to march straight to State House. Again, the first thing they should not allow Ruto to do is to set the agenda. Just like after the last election, Azimio One Kenya Alliance was actually setting the agenda. But of late, I tend to think that they are trying to allow Ruto to set the agenda. As opposition, they should be the one setting the agenda. The moment they'll allow Ruto to set the agenda, then they do catch up. That would be the time. That would actually be the time they are going to lose the plot. Number two, they should also not allow William Ruto's propaganda to germinate. Because let's face it, just like the other day, William Ruto made that statement of kuenda binguni, to mean that the guy will be eliminated. But William Ruto has been able to take advantage of that to an extent that as we speak today, Mambo ni Matatu is already trending. Azimio did not really take good advantage of that. But let us not focus on those for now. Let us focus on the things which Raila Odinga and Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Alliance can actually do to try and contain William Ruto's onslaught on their strongholds. Because we know William Ruto, he has a strategy. He's a strategic politician. He did this against Uhuru Kenyatta with huge success. Can he do the same to Raila Amolo Odinga? What can Raila Odinga and Azimio do? Number one, the first thing is to use bunge la wananchi. As we speak in this country today, and for me, if I were to be honest, after the last election, the people who sustained Raila Odinga's politics were actually the bunge la wananchi, the Nuru Okangas of this world, the Gauchos of this world, the Kimbikimbis of this world, the Omosh 1 hour of this world. Where are those gentlemen now? Where are they? Is it possible that they've been frustrated? Or is it possible that someone somewhere is not taking good care of them? Because bunge la wananchi is a very good platform. You remember after Raila Odinga, William Ruto took over office, Raila Odinga, I think, first of all, went and met with bunge la wananchi at Ivanje. I remember so well that day he was accompanied by Jalango and by Babu Wino. And from that moment, that's where he announced that he will start going across the country. And the bunge la wananchi have actually been very instrumental in his politics. The advantage of bunge la wananchi, in my view, is that they have branches across the country. So you can always advocate or advance your narrative through bunge la wananchi. Bunge la wananchi is actually apolitical. It's not political. So it means like when they are discussing things in Jacaranda, in Kisumu here, in Busia, I know there's also a very strong bunge la wananchi in Homa Bay, another one in Migori, I know the one in Mombasa, there's another one in Kilifi. Those ones are the ones I know. You can always use strong guys down there to advance these narratives, because the media have also identified these guys, so they will always be there to pass those narratives. So he must use the bunge la wananchi. If Raila Odinga will not take care of good care of bunge la wananchi, I can assure him, People like Omosh Wanawa, people like Gaucho, people like Nuru Okanga will go. William Ruto is going to buy bunge la wananchi because nobody in this world doesn't have a price. Every individual has a price. One of my friends here, Gordon Odir, always tells me that the problem with the Kenyan politics is that most people are forgetting the fact that each and every individual has a price. So if I were Raila Odinga, I'll start by visiting bunge la wananchi. Tomorrow I'll go to Jivanje, the next day I'll go to Jacaranda, the next day I'll go to bunge la wananchi in Busia, just to listen to them. We'll give him a very good platform, because as much as Ruto can buy them, the truth is there's a way also most of them are just politicians by nature. Someone like Nuru Okanga is not going for that seat. More of them should actually be encouraged. So that's number one. Number two, this Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Alliance team should also organize counter visits across the country to counter William Ruto's onslaught. And most of these visits should not be reactionary. That William Ruto goes to Kakamega, then you wait, you follow him. William Ruto goes to Busia, you wait, follow him. Like, for example, Raila Odinga today is going to be in Vihiga, is also going to be in Kakamega. What, in my view, they should do is to identify certain community events within the community that can ideally unify the group. For example, today's funeral in Busia is a very good avenue because it's going to bring all these leaders. So the moment Azimio will go there and they'll meet these people, then for me, that would be very good platform for them to show that they still have the people rather than showing the other side. So for me, that's the most important thing. These counter visits, they identified, like for example, in Gusii, when Raila Odinga attended that Gusii versus Kibera Football Club, it was a very good event for me because it brought together the entire community. And the moment the entire community went there, so you know I'm in the village and people are just passing here, so they are saying hi. So I was saying that these community events are the best. You attend a funeral, high profile funeral, where all leaders are there. You go, the reception will be there, you'll be received well, the whole world will see. The leaders will see that, okay, Raila or Kalonzo still has this kind of reception. So for me, these counter visits will also play a key role. Number three, in my view, and which is the most important one for Azimio, is to develop a proper communication strategy. You know, one thing William Ruto is beating all these guys currently is that he has a clear communication strategy. He knows what he wants and he's passing those messages without Azimio realizing. For example, William Ruto yesterday launched Talanta Hela. And most people are like, oh, Kenya Kwanza government has actually built this plaza. The truth of the matter is that that plaza has been there. This communication strategy will help in several ways, and it should focus on William Ruto's tours. Like when William Ruto is going to a place, like for example, he was in Vihiga, he was in Kakamega, he was in Busia. What was he going to do there? Raila Odinga and his team can then have the local leaders there. If the local leaders are not comfortable, he can have his team, because Raila Odinga has his team down there, Kalonzo has their team down there. Then this team should do what the Vihiga guys did. Tell them, okay, Ruto is coming to do this, this, this. The truth of the matter is that this, you know, things like those. They should also, the communication strategy should also focus on taxes. As we speak, the tax is just too much on Kenyans, and the Kenyans are feeling it, and nobody's talking about it. We have opposition which is not talking about the high cost of living. They are not talking of taxes. So they should also focus on the high cost of living. What about school fees? What about school fees? What about the new funding model? The truth of the matter, let's face it, students reported to school this week. How many parents were unable to take their children to school because of lack of school fee? Why is Azimio not highlighting those? Because those are the things that people will actually see, and they have direct impact on ordinary Kenyan. Why? Why are they not talking about things, basic things? You see, schools are opening. Why are you not talking about school fee, which has almost doubled? Number four, and this is also very important, is that these guys should actually start direct engagement with the people. Because it's, from what I'm observing, it's like William Ruto is going now with the leaders as part of his strategy to thwart Raila Odinga, to thwart Kalonzo. Why can't Kalonzo, Raila, Martha Karua, Wajakoya the fifth now decide to go directly to the people? meet the people directly. The moment you start going directly to the people, most of these leaders who are now going that side will actually be forced to retreat. And it's very simple to do it. Very simple. Raila Odinga can organize town hall meetings per county. He can say, I'm organizing a town hall meeting in Mombasa. That meeting is going to be attended by leaders, my grassroots leaders, ODM officials, wipe officials, religious leaders, just town hall meetings. The moment he will do that, these leaders who are going the other side will start figuring, okay, that is the direction. Baba is like doing this, then they'll fear. Of course, they can also use those platforms to pass certain information. And lastly is checkmate, which in my view is also very, very important. Why can't Raila Odinga, why can't Kalonzo, why can't Martha Karua, all those leaders start checkmating their leaders? Why can't Raila Odinga now start working in Mombasa with a potential gubernatorial candidate? If Abdul Swamad Nasir is not playing ball, why is it that Raila Odinga, as we speak, doesn't have someone to counter Utuma in Busia? Someone like, let's face it, someone like Okay Mtata can easily make a good governor. Why can't Raila Odinga start persuading him that, okay, the way we are seeing things, you have the potential, let's start working together? Or why can't he just identify someone from Busia and start moving around with him? Then we'll send a message to Utuma. That will be checkmating. What about members of parliament? What about MCS? Like a member of parliament who is elected on ODM and working with Ruto, why can't Raila start identifying candidates? Why can't Kalonzo start identifying candidates and start moving with them in those particular areas? I don't know what you think. That's my take. Ladies and gentlemen, until next time, this is Lee Makwiny. Bye-bye.